Your boy so happy. Like, excite, hype. With the value versus. The topics at hand today are Ganyu and Zhongli. Enough about me and my random excitement. Let's get to the topics at hand. So first up, we have Zhongli, the CEO of GEO, Geo Daddy himself. I did a whole value tier list, which I will link right here. So you guys can go and watch that if you want a kind of overview, if you want a more simplified look at what I'm about to do here. Let us jump into his pros. He's got the best shield in the game. Let's just go over it. No other shield can come even close to what Zhongli's shield can do. Okay, not only does it shred resistances, no other shield in the game does that, because that's usually something reserved for an Anemo character using the Viridescent Venerer set. So not only does he shred resistances, making your DPS just better by having him, his shield is fat. Yo, that shield is thick. That shield's a big old boy, and we love it. That I will put something here to show you guys just how big the gap is between Zhongli's shield and the next biggest shield, and it's pretty substantial. Zhongli is the best shield in game by far for a reason. The next big pro is high burst potential. Zhongli has a really nice burst. It's a comfort burst in my opinion. It does high damage, don't get me wrong, and it's a single hit, so you can buff it with Bennett, whatnot. It gives you great invincibility frames. It allows you to stand in the middle of something and let it do its thing, and you don't have to worry, because you're protected. You're doing something right now. You're busy. And afterwards, you get that beautiful petrification, which allows you to do whatever you need. In most circumstances, you can use that to DPS. On top of that, Zhongli's super convenient in the overworld. Bringing your Zhongli with you lets you mine, lets you get resources. On top of that, he lets you get a little extra vertical height, so climbing is a little easier, and since you can stand on top of it, you can also just get a little bit of stamina back. So Zhongli is highly convenient in the overworld. Additionally, he is a tall character model, which gives him the most distance on his dash. Also, when you're in water, he is the last character, or they're the last characters to need to swim, so you can reserve stamina that way as well. Another big pro for Zhongli, he's super free-to-play friendly. You don't need any constellations. He works extremely well out of the box. He can work really well, like your highest shield can be attained using a 3-star weapon. So, like he's great on low investment. He can be built with a 3-star spear, you know, very comfortably. Additionally, like, yeah, he's perfect out of box. But now it's time to move on to something a little more controversial. Zhongli's cons. I feel like the biggest con is that he's Geo. I may be using a mono Geo team here, but that's because Geo doesn't work very well with anything else. He will sometimes interrupt your reactions if you're using him in a reaction-based team. Like if you're using him with your Hu Tao, he will sometimes eat up some of her reactions, which isn't optimal, but considering how much he gives you, I don't consider this to be an overall big con for Zhongli. I'd say like the big con is that Zhongli can be tricky to build for damage, but you can build him physical, but it's tricky, especially when his support options are very straightforward, very easy to understand, very easy to use. He's a perfect bearer for the tenacity of the Milliless set, and you'd have to give that up to build him optimally for damage. Additionally, his pillar can kind of get in the way. I know this seems pedantic, but over like the length of your account, it can become something that becomes an annoyance. Yeah, this happens a lot. When you're trying to fight, especially if you're new to it and not accustomed to it, be aware that that can cause some annoyance, that can cause some irritation. It's just something to get used to, and it's worth mentioning. Since we've talked about Zhongli, pros and cons. Overall, I'd say he's still like a must pull. Don't get me wrong, he's still S tier. Like, I'm not dogging Zhongli here. I'm just getting that out. I'm just getting that out there. Zhongli means don't eat me. But now let's talk about Ganyu, our cryo queen. She's one of Liwei's big three, and let's start with her pros. I don't have her. I did pull for her, but I lost my 50-50. So, you know, that's just where I'm at right now in life. The biggest pro for Ganyu, the first thing that needs to be talked about is her charge shot. Those Frostflake arrows, they are insane. The damage on those arrows, oh my god. They're the biggest piece of Ganyu in my personal opinion. They have insane scaling and they have an AoE. So even if you're not good with your charge shots, you can still get the most out of Ganyu. It's not, oh, I can't aim, so I can't use Ganyu. No, even if you can't aim, if you hit the floor, you've made your shot. Ganyu's incredible. Additionally, she's Cryo, which gives her access to Melt and Reverse Melt, which are two insanely high damage options, and also gives her access to Freeze, and that is one of the better crowd control options. Additionally, she's part of the Morgana comp, which is one of the better compositions. Yeah, that's a big comp in Abyss clearing. So if you're looking for a Freeze team main DPS, or even a sub DPS, she can be your girl. She's relatively free to play friendly. She can use Wanderer's Troop, which is a artifact set that you may have already collected during your travels, during your adventures, just doing stuff. It's one of the sets that you just get. So you may already have a really nice Wanderer's Troop set for her, and she does really well on crafted bows like Hamayumi or the Prototype Crescent. And additionally, she can crowd control with her elemental skill, because it's like Mona's. It has a taunt, and so it works as a soft crowd control, because they will attack the little flower she summons instead of you, which is nice for Ganyu, who does not want to be hit in the face. Additionally, like I mentioned earlier, she can be a main or sub DPS on your freeze or melt teams, so that's pretty convenient for any Ganyu users. And Shenhe's better as a sub DPS. I just wanted to point that out in case you did recently pull Shenhe. Alright, so Ganyu's cons. She's a bow user, okay? So if you just don't like bow users, this is not the character for you. I've mentioned that before. Thing is, the mobile controls for bow users just really aren't great. They can feel a little clunky. The other big con for her, she was going to want really good substats if you're going to want to be doing the high PP damage that you see everyone doing. Like, if you want the crazy damage numbers in your arrow or in your ice rain, you're going to need to have the good substats to back it up. But, like I said, that just kind of evens out with the fact that, hey, you may already have the set that you want to use for her. The other thing I want to mention is that I'm not holding this against her, but she is a DPS, which makes her a little less versatile overall for your account. But like I said, it's a minor con, and I'm not holding it against her. I guess overall, let's get to the conclusion. What I wanted to say, overall, like, if you only take away one thing, it's that Zhongli is irreplaceable. Ganyu has replacements that are in her league. There is Ayaka, who works as a solid replacement for Ganyu in most situations, but for shielding, no one in Genshin comes even close to Zhongli. I feel like he wins that by a pretty comfortable margin. So, that has been my breakdown on the value of Zhongli versus Ganyu. Yeah, Zhongli wins. That is the value versus. Like, comment, and subscribe. We record over on Twitch. Come hang out Monday, Friday, or Sunday. And I love you all. Have a good one.